I know the biggest fear sellers have when listing their property is that they're leaving money on the table or they've priced it too low. And what I can tell you is that the market reacts to pricing. And if your house is priced too low, that is actually what is going to create demand and interest. It's going to bring the price up. It's not going to bring it down because the market always reacts to where the market's at. The buyers react. The buyers set the tone. It doesn't matter if you are selling your house, you're selling a sweater, you're selling gas, you're selling olive oil. If the price starts getting up too high, buyers retract. If the price is where the buyers want to be, then that's when they come out, that's when they start looking, and that's when they're going to have interest in your property. Case in point, there was a house that came up on our MLS today, and I'm located in Chilliwack, BC, Canada. Lovely place to live, by the way. And this house originally came up in January. So beginning of the year, I went and looked at it with my clients. It was in a neighborhood where they wanted to be. We had some very specific neighborhoods. I digress. That's not the point here. The point is we knew this house was overpriced and it started at 1.6 million. And really at that time in January, it should have been listed around 1.45. That's where the market was at. That would have been a good asking price. It was where houses similar were selling. So they decided to start at 1.6, way off price, looked at it anyways. Now let's look at the 7 price reductions that this listing had. February reduced to 1.575. March reduced again to 1.55. March reduced again 1.525. April reduced to 1.5. July reduced to 1.44. October reduced to 1.4. Now finally in November they reduced to 1.375. And within 3 weeks, they got an offer and that sale is now gone firm. It sold for 1.350. Now, another thing you have to factor in, because I have had this happen with clients and where they wanted to be on pricing. If this seller had started back in January, listed at 1.45, they probably would have settled out around 1.4 because our market did go down this year, and more specifically, it went down in November of this year. So while most of the things have been pretty steady, prices have been pretty steady, we saw a definite decline in November. So this seller could have been ahead. They could have been ahead by almost $75,000, probably would have been around 50. It probably would have sold for around 1.425 back earlier at the beginning of the year. But they went through 7 price reductions, didn't see what the market was saying. And the market was saying, you keep reducing your price, but I'm still not going to make an offer on it. If these sellers had been priced where they should have been, they would have attracted way more buyers and they would have attracted offers. So even while you're reducing your price, and maybe as you're reducing your price, you are starting to get some more showings, you may also have the incident where we're getting showings, but we're not getting offers. So that's the market telling you you're still not priced where you need to be. Where you're priced where you need to be, you start getting those offers. You also have to take into consideration the amount of time that something is on the market. This home was on the market for nearly 12 months. It came out at the beginning of January. The sold went through on December 31st of that same year. So that is a good solid 12 months. It is stressful having your house be on the market. And I think case in point, and the lesson in this one is that it started so high, but if they'd been priced where they should have been in January, they would have ended up around the same price, probably a little bit better, but they would have ended up around the same price. It just wouldn't have taken 12 months to get there. And having your house on the market for 12 months is not a fun situation to be in, because once our house is for sale, we start living in our house in a different way. We're kind of emotionally starting to check out. We're starting to feel more emotions towards it. And then why isn't it selling? But the best thing you can always do as a seller is listen to market, put your buyer hat on, and really interpret that data of what is either happening or not happening as your market data and what you need to do with your listing. So what is the main lesson with this story is that strategically pricing always is going to create competition. It's going to get you in a better spot. It's going to get you faster to that spot, but it's also more often than not, and I'm talking 99% of the time, going to get you to the same result. And it's much better to start off with a bang, start strong, and start where the buyers are expecting you to be. Because like we said, if you're priced too low, it is going to create competition. You're going to get multiple offers. and then you'll sell your property for a higher price.